Hey everyone, so today I'm going to talk about income tax function. It's one of the very nice application of convex functions, or some people also call convex functions as concave up functions as well. So before going into the details, let's try to see what is our scenario. So the scenario is, suppose you and your spouse are earning X and Y amount of money. Okay, so and after the financial year gets over, you have to pay some income tax. So now the question is, how one should pay the income tax? Should you combine your salary with your spouse salary and then you should pay the income tax, or you should pay the income tax individually? So that's the simple question. So let's see what the answer is. So before coming to the answer, let me tell you a concept of convex functions. So what do you mean by convex functions? So convex functions, some people also call it as concave up functions. Okay, concave up. Okay, so let me tell you graphically first of all. So suppose if this is the graph of a function, and then this function is nothing but concave up or the convex function. How do you conclude that? You conclude that by taking any 2 points on the graph. What do? You take any 2 points on the graph and you draw the segment joining the points on the graph. Okay, you take any 2 points on the graph, any 2 points, and you draw the segment joining the points on the graph. If the segment is above the graph, then such functions are called as convex functions. Okay, and if this notion of concave down or concave functions, when the segment is below the graph, you take any 2 points on the graph, and when the segment is below the graph, then such graphs or such functions are called as concave or concave down functions. Anyways, I am not interested in this right now. I am interested in convex functions. Okay, so whenever the segment is above the graph, convex function. This is graphically. How do I write this mathematically? To write down this mathematically, if I take any 2 points x and y in the domain, then what does the definition says? F of 1 minus p into x plus p into y is always less equal 1 minus p into f of x plus t into f of y, where t is from 0 to 1. So whenever your function satisfies this inequality, then we call such a function to be a convex functions. I mean, this much is sufficient, but those who know parameterization, then they can relate both the things in a more proper way. See, if you observe this carefully, the term inside f, this part, is nothing but is the parameterization of this segment. Is the parameterization of the segment x, segment joining x and y. And now I am taking the functional value, means this value will be nothing but the value of this graph points, means over here the graph points values, and here this is the parameterization of this segment, the segment which is above the graph. So since the segment is above the graph, therefore this value is greater or equal this value. So that's why I said, if you know parameterization, you can relate them in much more nicer way. But anyways, even if you don't know, I hope you know now what is mean by convex function, and this is how it represents mathematically. Okay, now let's see why our income tax function is a convex function. Our income tax function is an example of a convex function. How so? So suppose, so what is the function? F is what? It's income tax. When I will say f is an income tax function, if the input of the function is the salary, is the amount which I earn, and what is f of x? Or you can say x goes to f of x. So what is this f of x? It is the income tax which I pay. So x is the salary, f of x represents the income tax I pay. So if this is my salary and this is my income tax x's, so as you know, I mean, as per the income tax, Indian income tax system, from 0 to 2.5 you don't pay any tax, right? That means the tax is 0. And as your income increases, depending upon the investment and all other things, your graph increases very steadily, right? As your income increases, your income tax also increases. So this is how typically a convex income tax function looks like. And as you can see, this is a convex function. Why so? Because if I take any 2 points on the graph, the segment is what? It's always above the graph. So since the segment is always above the graph, income tax function is an example of a convex function. Okay, now let's see how you should pay the income tax. Okay, now since this is true for any t from 0 to 1, if I take t equal to 1, what do I, if I take t equal to half, what do I get? If I take t equal to half, I get f of 1 by 2 into x plus 1 by 2 into y, and this is less equal 1 by 2 into f of x plus 1 by 2 into f of y. This is what I get when I take t equal to half. That means I'm only taking the average of x and y. So if I rewrite this, I get f of x plus y by 2 less equal f of x plus f of y by 2. Here is my answer. So let's try to interpret this. So what this is saying is, if x is my salary and y is my spouse salary, and if I take the average of our salary, and then I pay the income tax, because when I apply f, it represents the income tax. So this is the income tax of whom? Of our average salary. So this is the income tax of our average salary, and this is average of what? The individual income tax we pay. So what does this say is that if you combine you take the average of your salary, then you pay the income tax, that is always less than or sometimes equal to also the average of the individual salary. So I don't know whether government has given this option or not, but I don't think they have given this, because if they have given this option, then what you can do is you can take your and your spouse salary, you can take the average, and then you can show that okay, this is our one family income, and then you pay the income tax. So many times it will happen that it will be less than the individual income tax. But I should also convince you, right? So let me take an example. So suppose if my salary is suppose say 9 lakh rupees per annum, then I have used income tax calculator and I have not shown any investment. So the income tax turns out to be 96,200 after those cess and all those things. Numbers might change, again I'm saying. So yeah, but this is what I have used one of the calculator, and these are the numbers I'm getting. And suppose if my spouse salary is suppose 19 lakh, then the income tax which I will pay is 39,780. So these are the income tax we have to pay. Now, so what is the average of this? That means my right hand side. So if I take the average of this, it will come up to be 2,47,000. So this is my right hand side. Okay, now let's do the left hand side. What is the average of 9 and 19? So 28 by 2, which is 14. So for 14 lakh, how much salary, how much income tax should I pay? So if I use the calculator, it will come out to be 2,41,800. So you can see there's a difference of almost it's a difference of 5,200. So say, if you take the average and then you pay the income tax, that is less than, in many scenario it was coming out to be equal to. So I have chosen some nice numbers. But yeah, ultimately what I want to say, you won't be paying much more. Definitely you'll be paying equal or you'll be paying less, depending upon whether such option is available or not. So yeah, that's what the income tax function is, and that's how convexivity helps us to determine how one should pay the income tax. So I hope you found this example interesting. Please let me know if you have any more concerns. Thank you.